I made it to Damme State Park before dark. Mission accomplished. So I'm in the upper loop of the campground. This is one of the few coastal area campgrounds that had availability. I booked in advance, but they even still have spaces for tonight. I guess the reason they still have spaces is to get to the upper loop, which is where I'm at, you have to cross this janky temporary bridge, which may or may not be permanent. I mean, even though it's called temporary, no trailers allowed up here. It's a really narrow bridge, and then you make an extremely sharp left turn that's more like a U-turn to drive up to these sites. I think that's kind of nice. We don't have to worry probably about generators running, because most people with tents don't run generators. Some van lifers do, most don't. I do see a Class C off in the distance. Over there, the camp post has a fairly big rig, but you know, they're probably here for the whole season. So I had an amazing drive on Highway 1. I have wanted to do that for a long time. I drove all the way from Sunset Beach in Watsonville all the way to Damme State Park on Highway 1, except for the part where Highway 1 and 101 are together to cross the Golden Gate Bridge. That was an experience too. I used to have a fear of bridges. I had to get over that when I took Mary to college because I had to cross the Mississippi River on a big ass bridge. It doesn't bother me so much anymore. As far as Highway 1 goes, I mean, the Big Sur part was spectacular. Today, I swear the roads were even gnarlier. I was on some of the most scenic highway ever. Talking steep hairpin curves and coast on one side, and then all of a sudden you're in the forest, and then there's some small towns, and then more dramatic Northern California wild coast, and then more forest, and just wild, crazy roads. The only campground between here and Watsonville pretty much was this one. And it was a long-ass drive. Yeah, I made some stops, stopped a few beautiful scenic spots, a couple I had to skip. But I did underestimate because I didn't know how much windy hairpin 15, 20, 25 mile an hour road I was going to be on. It took me all day. I got here after 6:30. I left there probably at 9, I don't know. And yeah, I made a few stops, had lunch, things like that, but it was a long drive, but I loved every minute, or almost every minute. Maybe not the San Francisco part being stuck in traffic, but aside from that, it was a fantastic drive, and I highly, highly, highly recommend Scenic Highway 101. I highly, highly recommend Scenic Highway 1, not 101. I guess that's a blooper, but I'll probably end up leaving it in there. Yeah, my fire pit's gonna stay empty tonight. So as a personal rule of thumb, I don't really do fires when I camp alone. I've done them in the past. I mean, if it's really, really, really cold, I might. But it's not just because firewood gets pricey. I don't like smelling up my van. I don't like smelling up my hair and my clothes with the smell of campfire smoke. I like doing group campfires. I do those when I'm at meetups, and that's a lot of fun, and then I just kind of live with the smell. But on my own, it's a lot of work, and it's a little bit of an expense, but mostly it's just the smell, and it irritates the heck out of my sinuses, and my sinuses don't need to be inflamed. It really is scenic here. And there is a state beach. Damme State Park has a beach, so I'll drive about a mile or less than a mile back from my site in the morning, and I could check out the beach. I am feeling kind of snackish and lazy for dinner. I've got some coconut yogurt. I mean, yogurt that is made from coconut milk. I'm not vegan though, so I got cheddar crisps, mushroom jerky, and some peppermint tea. Originally, I thought I'd do instant noodles, but I'm just going to save those for another day. Seagull in the woods, because we are so close to the coast. It wants to steal food. My table. He's pretty close. He was at my neighbor's site a minute ago, and I think he grabbed something. I don't know. We're not supposed to leave food around, obviously, because the wildlife. There could be bears and these guys. The mushroom jerky is a little bit odd, so it's interesting. Probably an acquired taste. I think I'm going to put it away and get something else. can see that. Alert, mountain lion sighting, 62722, campsite number 50. Yeah, site 50 is somewhere over there. I'm like 43 or 44, I don't remember. I'm guessing it's one of those up against the trees. And that was 2 months ago, so I really doubt we're going to see any mountain lions. But I decided to go in by dark and not to use the campground toilet after dark.